Hello guys, welcome back to my channel, the place where we talk all about manifestation, soul alignment, and healing. Today, I'm bringing a controversial subject, a controversial opinion, but that in my opinion is life-changing. And so if you're ready to create the life of your dreams, to live your most aligned life, keep on watching. My controversial opinion is that your beliefs don't create your reality. I said it. I know some people may be shocked and I'm gonna ruffle some feathers, but the truth is that your thoughts don't create your reality. So it's not that the fact that you believe or that you were taught that your thoughts create your reality is false or is a lie, but it is only a surface level understanding of a deeper truth. And like anything in life, until you go to the source, there's no real change that occurs. The reason I'm so passionate about understanding the unconscious mind and teaching about that is that the moment in my life that I finally went to the source of my limiting beliefs, my limiting patterns, my behaviors that were holding me back, I finally shifted everything in my life. Before that, when I was only consuming content that was surface level, I could start to sense some shifts, but I still felt really far away from the reality I wanted for myself. And so that's why I want to talk about this subject. And to go there, we must go deeper than believing that your thoughts create your reality. And so let's go deep. The reason I believe that your thoughts don't create your reality is that your thoughts are a specific entity of energetic imprint. What I mean by that is that everything in this reality is made up of energy. Everything is made up of energy. If you are not familiar with that concept, I would highly recommend you go check out what quantum physics is. But to go deeper in the subject and to blow your mind, we're just starting with the fact that everything is energy. And since everything is energy, we are never separate from anything, because energy cannot be destroyed, it cannot be created, it can only be transformed. It means that there is no end to my energy and your energy. Everything is a biodynamic relationship, because this reality is the material manifestation of energetic laws, cosmic laws that make our world what it is. And you've heard of the law of attraction, the law of assumption, the law of compensation, the law of gravity. You've heard of many laws, and there are specific laws that create this world as it is. And I know we don't talk about that enough, and maybe we can go deeper into that in different videos, but what we have to understand now is that this reality is a material manifestation of different laws at play. And because everything is energy, it means that your thoughts, every thought and every thought in history possible, is an energetic imprint of a material reality, of a perception of reality. Our mind is infinite because we are linked to the infinite consciousness of the quantum field. We are always connected to that field, meaning that there's millions and billions and trillions of thoughts that we can imagine, because the possibilities are infinite. And when we understand that, we also understand that not every thought has power to become reality. I don't know if you knew, but every human being thinks around 80,000 thoughts per day. 80,000 thoughts per day. Every human being. So if our thoughts would create a reality, it means that every thought that we're thinking would materialize again and again. And as you can understand, that's not what's happening. And yes, in that perception of your thoughts create your reality, we're talking about the thoughts that are the most common in your reality that then materialize. And since we're getting closer to that, the truth, the final truth, is that it's not your thoughts that create your reality, but the relationship you have with your thoughts. The connection you have with your thoughts. Energy cannot be created, it cannot be destroyed, it can only be transformed. So now that we know that the connections you have with your thoughts is the cause of what you manifest in your reality, is understanding that your unconscious mind is connected, it's the bridge to the infinite quantum field of information. And so many people can think the same things, but what will differentiate some people to manifest certain outcomes and others different outcomes is the connection they're creating with certain specific thoughts. When you understand that your connection, the relationship you have with your thoughts, is what's fueling the energy to be transformed into matter, you become intentional. When you understand that you're already connected to the infinite quantum field of information, you understand that your thoughts are not important per se. They don't have any pressure on you. They don't have any attachment to you, because there's millions of thoughts happening at every second. So you understand that you're just an observer of all the possibilities that exist, of all the thoughts that can be imagined. You are no longer attached to the story of those thoughts, to the narratives of those thoughts, because you understand that you're just watching all those possibilities. When the relationship to your thoughts is of fear, of control, of attachment, then that relationship is fueled again and again, because you keep choosing to see your thoughts as a control, meaning that you believe that your thoughts and everything that you think has power over you. And when your relationship to your thought is of sovereignty, meaning that you know that you can choose how you want to relate to the thoughts you're thinking every day of your life, then the power comes back to you. It's no longer outside of you, to an entity that is connected to everything and everyone, but you understand that you have your own power and your own say in that dynamic that is happening all the time. You are an individual thinker of all the thoughts that are possible, and everyone is. We're just looking to the quantum field of information from a different point of view. We are just the watchers of a TV program that is happening all the time. And so understanding that fundamental truth, that your thoughts don't create your reality, but the relationship you have with your thoughts is what is creating your reality, then you reclaim your power as a sovereign being and creator. Because then you become intentional with how you treat and how you relate to your thoughts. For example, in the past, I used to believe that life was hard and that everyone had it easier than me. And so my perception of reality was that I had to suffer to make things work. That it was inevitable for me to always have it harder than other people. And so I always wonder why other people seem to have it all or seem to have things so easily, but me, it would be hard, complicated, and I would never really get where I wanted to be. And it happened in my fitness journey, it happened in my own purpose, meaning when I chose to become a coach, it was still thoughts that were in my reality, in my perception. And through the unconscious work that I've done, I realized that this is just a relationship I earlier in my life chose to create with my thoughts and what was happening within. I was more connected to my ego, to my suffering, to my fear, that I was connected to my expansion, to my growth, to my faith, to my love. It was not the thoughts themselves that were creating my reality, but the connection that I created with them. Because again, energy cannot be created, it cannot be destroyed, it can only be transformed. And so my energetic relationship, the dynamic relationship I had with my thoughts was of fear, was of attachment, was of control. And so the energy that I was fueling into those thoughts and into my relational dynamic with life was of fear, attachment, and control. It was not about stopping all those thoughts or change all of those thoughts, because that's not something I have control over. Again, everyone thinks around 80,000 thoughts per day. Do you really believe that we can control all of those thoughts? No, we can't. Because it's just things that are happening unconsciously, but we can choose how we relate to the thoughts we're having and understand that a relationship to them will shift our focus. Energy flows where attention goes. When we choose to create a relationship based on love, compassion, power, confidence, then the thoughts themselves start naturally changing. And when we think negative thoughts or disempowering thoughts, we're still connecting with them through love, compassion, and confidence. So it's no longer the thoughts having power over us, but us choosing to see our thoughts differently. And this connection is what is going to change your life as a whole. Because at a surface level, the thoughts are happening all the time and they take different forms, different textures, different directions. At a deeper level, we are creating a dynamic and a relationship every day of our lives. And that relationship is the source of everything that is happening right now. Because we are always in relation to something else, because we are not separate. That's why they say that everything around you, people, situations, circumstances, are a mirror to what's happening within, because we're never separate from what's around us. It's just a biodynamic that is always happening. And so you can see that source, that relationship, how you're relating to life, the energetic relationship you have with life, as the source to everything that's happening in matter, in your reality. Because again, we are in a realm of manifestation as matter, meaning that everything manifests as matter because we are perceiving this reality in matter. And so those cosmic laws I talked about in the beginning will always work, so the energy that is at the source manifests into matter. And so that source will feed the thoughts, the behaviors, the actions, the movements that you take on a daily basis. Because again, we're manifesting energy into matter. And so when you really go at the source and understand what is at source, then we can really change everything. Because then we're fueling the thoughts, the behaviors, the patterns, the actions from somewhere else. It's not so much about what you do, but how you do it. And the how is that relationship you have with life. How you relate with life, with source, and with yourself. This is what's always manifesting, not the thoughts themselves, the relation you have with those thoughts and with the thinker of those thoughts, which is you. As I said in the beginning of this video, for real change to happen, we must go to the source, because the source is fueling everything else into matter. The source is feeling the movement that would manifest the energy into matter. Changing the source is not complicated. It doesn't mean it's easy in itself, because we've been conditioned to relate with life from a really disempowering way. But changing the source that is fueling everything in your life is just a choice. Again, it's simple, but it doesn't mean it's easy in itself. But everything can shift in a second. Because it's not about time, it's about alignment. And so the moment you choose to live your life from an empowered way and relating to everything around you from an empowered way, then you can deliberately create your reality. Because things around you no longer have power over you, you have power in how you relate with life. And your external reality will shift in accordance to what you're sourcing. So, to make it short, your thoughts don't create your reality. The relationship you have with your thoughts is what creates your reality. How you relate with life is what you're fueling in life. And to create what you want and create the most aligned life that you want is about choosing every day, every second, to relate to your thoughts in a way and from a perspective that empowers you. Understanding that everything that is outside of you, including your thoughts, even if they're happening inside, it's an outside force coming into relationship with you. Even that has no power over you, because you are a sovereign being and you can choose where you put your attention, and through that attention you transform your reality. Energy flows where attention goes. So, practical tips for you to start shifting your reality and seeing that your thoughts don't create your reality, but the relationship you have with them does, is reminding yourself of this one truth. You are not your thoughts, you're the thinker of your thoughts. And every time you remember that, you're shifting the power from outside yourself back in yourself. And then you can ask yourself, if what's happening right now is disempowering me, how can I empower myself in this situation? How can I be empowered in this situation? And the moment you remember that truth, you remember that you have the power to choose differently. So, if something is blocking you, limiting you, disempowering you, then you can ask yourself how to shift that. I'm feeling disempowered right now. What is one thing that would make me feel empowered? Or how can I be empowered in this moment? And what really helps me, it's always thinking of my higher self and inviting myself to think and see my reality through the eyes of my soul higher self. Because your soul is the part of you that's already connected to the infinite field of information, the quantum field, and so it already knows all the answers. That's why it's not complicated. It's not necessarily easy, because we've been attached to living out of ego and we are conditioned to believe our ego more than our soul, but the unconscious mind is reprogrammed to repetition. And so every time you see yourself being stuck in a disempowering situation or thought, ask yourself, how would my higher self see this right now? How would my higher self act in this moment? And start training yourself to shift your relationship with your thoughts and the relationship you have with life. Because again, that relationship is what's fueling everything you're seeing in your reality. Life is not complicated, it is really simple when we remember our truth and our power. Again, life is just a reflection and a manifestation of really simple cosmic laws, and when we align ourselves with that truth, everything becomes effortless because it's what's running the show. When we realize those laws are running the show, and when we play the game as it is meant to be played, everything is easy. Everything is simple. Not always easy, but simple. I hope this video helped you remind yourself of that truth or remember your power. If you had any realizations, haha moments, let me know in the comments down below, or any other questions that you have or anything you would want to see next. Thank you for being here. I'm so grateful that we get to expand, grow together, and I'll see you next week. Bye!